lot of questions here. Clearly, we're not going to be able to get through all of them, so I'll ask a few. Any that we can address for you afterwards, we'll publish onto the Vichar Manthan website, YouTube channels, and other areas. So, if you have further questions as well, please write them down. So, Virendra ji, it's quite a popular one. It's been quite a few. And it's basically the relationship between Bhagat Singh and Mahatma Gandhi, and if there's any truth in Gandhiji's attempts to help free Bhagat Singh, what are your views on that relationship with
Gandhi? Gandhiji was against revolutionaries because revolutionaries believed in violent and non-violent, both types of efforts to make the country free. If by the revolutionaries used to say that if by non-violence we don't get freedom, even we will use violence for that, and we will not hesitate to do that. So Gandhiji's view about revolutionaries was totally against it, and he never liked revolutionaries for that matter. But as a personal effort and attempt, Gandhiji tried to save Bhagat Singh's life, but not as a उन्होंने उसको मुद्दा नहीं बनाया, शर्त नहीं बनाई, लेकिन ये कहा कि अगर आप ठीक समझें तो फांसी को कुछ दिनों के लिए टाल दें, ये उन्होंने वायसराय से कहा. But वायसराय said हाँ कुछ दिन के लिए टाली जा सकती है, लेकिन फांसी को बिल्कुल रोका नहीं जा सकता. उसके बाद गांधी जी ने उनसे कहा कि if you have to hang them, then hang them before the Karachi Congress, so that if there is any reaction of the people, it would be before the Karachi Congress and not after. So this is how Gandhiji did say, but not on formal basis, informal basis, on very personal basis, that it will be better if you don't execute these three young revolutionaries.
Okay, thank you. We discussed earlier about how he read literature from 17th century, Lenin, Das Green, Das Kapital by Marx. And these people were atheists, they were communists also. So there's a few questions in here asking, quite literally, was Bhagat Singh a communist?
No, he was not a communist. He did read quite a lot about Marxism. In actual fact, in Revolutionary Party, Bhagat Singh had read quite a lot before anyone else about Marxism, Leninism, anarchism. But ultimately, he decided by the end of 1928, they decided to have socialism in India.
He was actually invited to join the Communist Party, which he declined.
No, I don't think he was invited. He had made actually his own new party, didn't he? The Hindustan Samajwadi Prajatantrik Sangh. He has made his own party. So he didn't have to join any other communist party or any other party. He was quite capable of making his own views and making his own party. So he didn't have to follow anyone.
Leader in himself. Got a question
here. I must say he had, because he had read all the revolutions, he had a lot of impression on him about all those revolutions, and he had learned a lot about them, from them.
Got a question here about Bhagat Singh's his activities and use of guns and bombs and things like that. And the question, quite frankly, here is, what would your argument be? Your counter argument would be that Bhagat Singh was a terrorist.
Bhagat Singh himself said, "I'm not a terrorist, I'm a revolutionary." Uh, it's a coincidence that he had to use a pistol and bomb. That is because of a reason. There was a reason behind it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done that. He had written in that pamphlet which they threw in the assembly that we are sorry for taking a life, and I made some notes somewhere. Yes, in that pamphlet they have written revolution is a inalienable right of mankind. Freedom is the imprescriptible birthright of all. The laborer is the real sustainer of society. The sovereignty of the people is the ultimate destiny of the workers. For these ideals and for this faith, we shall welcome any suffering to which we may be condemned. To the altar of this revolution, we have brought our youth as incense, for no sacrifice is too great for so magnificent a cause. We are content, we are await the ardent of the revolution, long live revolution. This is about revolution he has written.
Again, like I said, there's a lot of questions here. We'll try and address some of them a little later on. What we're going to do, we're going to finish off now. Virendra is actually going to read out was it a slip that was passed to the Lahore conspiracy case convicts. So if you'd like to read that for us.
There were so many other convicts which were they were sentenced to life imprisonment, and they were in the other ward. They had sent a slip to Bhagat Singh asking him if he wants to live, and perhaps something can be done even now. And that was 22nd of March 1931. Bhagat Singh wrote, and I think no one can write more clearly and more truthfully about his views as Bhagat Singh has done. So that's why I'm reading to you this as well. He has said, "Comrades, the desire to live is natural. It is in me also. I do not want to conceal it, but it is conditional. I don't want to live as a prisoner or under restrictions. My name has become a symbol of Indian revolution. The ideal and the sacrifices of the revolutionary party have elevated me to a height beyond which I will never be able to rise if I live. Today people do not know my weaknesses. If I escape gallows, those weaknesses will come before them, and the symbol of revolution will get tarnished, or perhaps it may vanish altogether. On the other hand, if I mount the gallows boldly and with a smile, that will inspire Indian mothers, and they will aspire that their children should also become Bhagat Singh. Thus, the number of persons ready to sacrifice their lives for the freedom of the country will increase enormously. It will then become impossible for imperialism to face the tide of the revolution, and all their might and their satanic efforts will not be able to stop its onward march. Yes, one thing pricks me even today. My heart nurtured some ambitions for doing something for humanity and for my country. I have not been able to fulfill even 1,000th part of those ambitions. If I live, I might perhaps get a chance to fulfill them. If ever it came to my mind that I should not die, it came from this end only. I am proud of myself these days, and I am anxiously waiting for the final test. I wish the day may come nearer soon. Yours, Comrade Bhagat Singh. So these were his last thoughts, and if he has ever prayed, that was the humanity. He loved humanity, and he lived and he died for human beings and for humanity. And that is his message for today and always, that humanity is above all. We should love human beings and humanity, and that is all.
It's great
Thank
to
you
hear
very
those-
much.
those past-
Thank you very much for listening to me.
Just personally speaking, throughout my research to do this and being presented this opportunity, what I'm most amazed about is how much he accomplished at the age of 23, to be well learned, well read, and to be what we know as the revolution of India today. So again, thank you for the opportunity, and I'll pass you on to Sachinji to close off.
Namaste everyone. So this will be the final concluding remarks for Vichara Manthan, the first Vichara Manthan in West London. That was our attempt to bring Bhagat Singh alive, and I think to a large extent Sumitji, the chair, and Virendra a special thank you for making him alive for us this evening. So please can I have another round of applause. Virendra. The task of Vichar Manthan is to do exactly this, to dig deep, earnestly into ideas, into personalities, into philosophies, into history, and make them relevant for you and I today. In whichever way we digest, we absorb these ideas. The whole idea behind Vichar is to think and to wrestle with these ideas, whether they be pleasant or difficult. And the Manthan is then to churn, to let it spew within us, to let it ferment in our minds. And eventually that idea becomes a part of you, and you become a part of that idea. So I hope today, in some way, we have introduced Vichar Manthan to you all, and I hope you will continue to support this chapter in VM West. We have a website you can find us on, and all future events. There will be at least 2 to 3 events a year that will be held in this region. There'll also be 2 or 3 events in central London. And eventually, as we find more volunteers and more well-wishers to support us and support this work, we will generate more ideas, we'll have more Manthans, and maybe we will permeate dharmic ideas for a British society in the 21st century. This work is not possible if we don't have well-wishers. Well-wishers are volunteers that take time out, that organize this, that make all of this possible. And I just want to introduce you to some of the VM West team members. I mean, there's a whole army of them, but I'll just introduce you to some of the key characters. You've already been introduced to Sumitji Sharma. I want to introduce you to Garunaji Trivedi. He's been the backbone behind this event. He's been making sure all of us do our tasks on time and to schedule. So he's project managed us awfully well, and you will see more of Garunaji, no doubt. There's also Ajayji over there at the back, who is looking after the technology side of things and making sure, again, everything runs smoothly. We have Bharatji Mistry, who many of you may know. He has been navigating us through the landscape that is the Slough community and West London community. He knows a lot of people and the contours of what we have to do and what we have to achieve. So his light and his influence has been a great help. And then, of course, there are a whole array of volunteers that you've seen, and you'll see them wearing these badges. So please speak to them, talk to them. The other person I want to introduce you to is Falguni Bhatt. Falguni Bhatt looks after our well-wishers funds, and basically what that means is we ask people to come and become a well-wisher. To become a well-wisher basically means, we would like between £1 or upwards per month from you for the rest of your life to help us continue to further this work. So if you feel that this is a worthwhile project, that you think this is something that we should do more of, specifically in this chapter, then please, I urge you to come and see Falguni ji as you come and exit. Please have a word with her, talk to her, and I urge all of you, and I would welcome all of you to please become a well-wisher and do sign up with us, because your money will go a long way. Of course, special thanks to the school, the Langley Academy, for letting us have this venue, and hopefully we'll have this venue many more times. Of course, a special thanks to all of you for coming here, taking your Saturday night out and coming to explore such an interesting, deep personality that I hope history never forgets, and I hope each of us take something away from. I should also add at this point that there will be opportunity to engage with Vichar Manthan. A lot of you have asked questions that, of course, we didn't have time to explore in great depth, but we will engage Virendra ji in a private closed-door study group session where we will address some of these questions, and we will be looking to invite some of you to join us in that study group at a future date. We'll keep you informed. And of course, those questions and those answers will be presented either on the website or on our Facebook group as well. So you can keep up to date with some of those questions that you have asked that were not answered today. With that, I just want to say thank you for your time, and I hope to see you at our next Vichar Manthan, and I hope you will continue to support us. Thank you, namaste.
And the exit is through this way. So you will notice you have to go through Falguni. And she won't let you go unless you sign up. That's